Hello, my name is Mac Wilson from The Current, and it's my privilege to welcome the band Soul Asylum to The Current studio today. Jeremy, Ryan, Dave, thanks for coming in.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks for
Good to
having
be
us.
here.
Thank you.
So you've been in a couple of times over the last few years. It seems like on a yearly basis, whether chatting with the local show or otherwise, doing what is sort of becoming a yearly tradition at First Avenue as well, playing
right.
this month. So, I mean, I realize that this is sort of an open-ended question, but I mean, what's new over the last year? The last time you came in, you were chatting about Slowly But Surely.
Right.
Anything new in the works?
Well, I'm thinking we did an interview with Diane last time we were here, and then she was playing in Tommy's band, which was kind of felt like family in a way. We're working on a new record. We got a gig coming up in a few days.
Next weekend, I think.
Next
Next weekend, we got a
Yeah.
couple of gigs.
And, we're trying to nurse Jeremy back to health.
Yeah. I'm back. I'm alive.
We've had our first break since the record came out, so that's kind of good timing. I mean, there's been a few Thanksgivings where I was at a truck stop having turkey soup, going, "This ain't doing it for me," you know. But
soup.
yeah, making new music and hanging out with our significant others.
I'm not quite up on the lore. Jeremy, was there an actual health scare?
Yeah, I mean, nothing. Luckily, nothing too serious. But I had a couple of minor surgeries this year that kind of put me on the bench twice in a row, basically. So I had a month off, and then we went out and did some shows, and then we came back after our last little run, and then I had about 2 months off to kind of heal up. So literally first time seeing Dave in like 2 months today.
Yeah.
So we got practice tonight. We kind of restarted the band today.
It wasn't life-threatening. What we're worried about is Ryan's mental condition.
Yeah, right.
It's pretty
There
serious.
seems to be no surgery that can solve that just yet.
Not from lack of trying.
But we're looking. Yeah.
So, Ryan, we've chatted with you a couple of times over the years. We were talking, well, you came into the Current studio even with Melismatics way back in the day. On your personal basis, do you have anything on your own up the alley?
Up the alley. I mean, there's always something up the alley.
always-
Busiest man in show business. This dude is unbelievable. Just ask his assistant.
If you want any merch, he's got merch.
Mostly the record label I've been running has been taking a lot of time. But
Plug
in
the
that-
label,
and
High
working-
Tension Records,
hey,
right?
You got to plug it. But mostly working on new songs with Dave for the next Soul Asylum record. That's mostly what
Yeah, these guys have been, while I've been riding the couch and healing up, these guys have been hard at work working on it.
How was the Melismatics gig at?
Oh, First Avenue? Yeah, we did play their
forgot to
last
ask you
Wednesday.
about that.
Thanks for remembering.
Did you blow the headliner off the stage?
We love the headliner, so I couldn't say that.
You went
But
easy on him.
well, you
Took
know,
it easy on him.
we were pretty. It went great.
All right.
And my memory is escaping me. Who are you opening up for at that one?
That was Ike Riley assassination.
Oh, so that was Thanksgiving
Yeah,
week.
the
Oh, that-
Thanksgiving evening.
And they
Eve.
did a really
Eve.
nice tribute to Conrad, right?
They
They hung,
did.
they hung
They
the
did. It was
Conrad
very
star as a
nice.
backdrop,
Yeah,
which
this is my. What would Conrad do?
I was going to say it
We
will
lost
be.
a very dear friend named Conrad Sverkerson,
Yeah.
who was the guy at First Avenue for 30 years,
It's
as long
gonna
as I
be
can remember.
Quite strange
I was
going
just
back
there
there.
the other day going, it's just not the same without Conrad. Just a beautiful guy, really, really missed. Really kind of made everybody feel comfortable and stuff. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be weird walking in there and having
Mm-hmm.
him. I was there too recently for a show, and same thing. I'm like, man, I can't go by, and the spot where he always is, he's just
Yeah.
not there
And
anymore.
you'd see him, you'd go, okay, it's everything.
Everything is right.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
In the wake of Conrad's passing a couple of weeks ago, I found as a radio host a little bit difficult to like convey his importance like to the general public.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where if you're just an audience member and you're at the show, you don't necessarily notice that he's there. That means that he's done his job absolutely perfectly.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
his relationships that he built were with musicians and then anybody like who had to go backstage. It was both terrifying and sobering for me as like a radio host to try to, get backstage to go and do an intro of it because you had to go through Conrad first. But everybody who encountered him, they're like, boy, he was one of the most terrifying men. I love him dearly and he'll be missed forever. And that's the impact that he had on
It's
everybody.
incredible. People in bands, I'll be in France and I'll be talking to somebody about playing at First Avenue and they'll go, oh, how's Conrad doing?
Exactly, yeah,
Or
yeah.
like every band has played there more than a few times, kind of befriended him and counted on him to be there. It's just when we saw him, we knew everything was under control. And he also had that effect on the staff, which now my nephew works there. Conrad got him a job, actually. And
He was the captain of that ship.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. Yeah.
I'd say that since you're playing at First Avenue again this fall, like what would be different about it? That's a notable thing there. For the however many times that you've played at First Avenue over the years, this is a very unique and different instance now.
it is, and we're very, very lucky to have Tommy, who has opened for us the last 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
This will be number
Played there.
3 now.
This would be
I
the
think.
third, yeah.
It has a bit of a family kind of a feel to it, and we're gonna try to. We always try to mix it up, and then Michael said to me, "Dave, every time we try to mix it up, no one cares," and I was like, "Well, is that true?" So
We care.
yeah, we care.
Yeah, we care. I like mixing it up.
So we might do a couple different things. We might have Fancy Ray there, but I don't know if that's going to work out. And we might do. There's a lot of mights right now.
Don't give away too many secrets
Yeah.
now. You got to keep them
Yeah.
guessing a little
We
bit.
might have a guest or two.
Well, speaking of which, I saw, Dave, that you were a guest at the Hold Steady when they were doing their Separation Sunday shows. That you
yes.
did come back to do Chill Out 10, so that was cool to see.
I did. It was really fun to play on that last song because they're like, just come up there and put on a guitar and just follow us. And sure enough, it was really fun and easy. It's always kind of a nerve-wracking thing, but I was like, I got this. And then I was looking at the guitar player playing, and he goes, just stop playing when the singer is singing. And I'm like, good idea. Anyways, those guys are great. Love them.
Love the Hold Steady, yeah.
Another thing that was different for you this year, maybe something that you haven't experienced before, when our friends across town at KQRS, when they tweaked their format a bit earlier this spring, they decided to stunt it by playing Somebody to Shove on loop for days at a time. Were you consulted at all before that, or did you find out, like everybody else, that this was happening?
No, it came as a really hilarious, pleasant sort of surprise. And I remember some local station, and I don't remember which one, they played Here Comes the Sun for like 3 days because they were changing their format. And I thought that was fascinating. Would I ever guess that someone would be doing that to me? So I got in my car and I was like, oh, wow, they're playing.
This is really
Somebody
happening.
to Shove. And then it starts over and it kind of ends the way it starts. And I was like, I kept driving. Yep, there it is again.
I kind of wondered
Okay.
how long it would take to start kind of pissing people off
Yeah,
a little.
right?
It only took me about 3 or 4
Did
rotations.
not know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's evidently it's stunting the idea that when a radio station is going on the imminent verge of a format change, rather than, like you said, pissing people off, they just drop straight into the song and play it over and over again, and then they come back on the other side like that. So I'm
was
sure
pretty
it was sort
cool.
of an honor to be chosen for that.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was great. I called up a friend and went, turn on KQ right now. And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, wait, they're changing. I don't know. They're changing to that? Yeah, they just play us over and over
It's
again.
the Someone to Shove channel.
I'm kind of curious, like, as KQ is kind of a community institution in its own right, where they stuck to the same playlist for a long time. I'm curious if Soul Asylum ever did break through at any point, whether you knew if you got played there at any point. Like, did they even like drop Runaway Train in like once a month or anything?
Not really, They just kind of avoided, local music for sure.
Oh, sure. I think as contemporary as they got, they drop in like the Black Crows, and that would be about
Yeah, or
contemporary.
maybe like a Foo Fighters song would sneak in there
and
once
maybe
in a while.
some
but
new
that was
U2, but that was about
right,
it. Yeah.
Right.
But now they've tweaked it up quite a bit. It made me think back to the way that, like, we're recording this right now. I'm looking at the camera right now because we're taping this. It'll air on thecurrent.org, and we'll chop it up too for any number of social media channels. Like, Dave, thinking back to when you were active in the early 90s, like, how you would have promoted the music that you were putting out then, thinking of it like, okay, how do I talk about misery in a 15-second clip that would go out to Instagram? Is that something that's like interesting? Like, how would I have handled the grind of promoting music, 30 years ago?
I don't know. I still don't know. I try, I go to like, just go be yourself. And I'm like, well, which self do you
Which
want?
me? Which one?
The guy that swears a lot and makes jokes all the time?
Right.
Or
How much of
guy
myself can I really?
that has to, say, buy our new record because it's awesome, that guy. I think
right.
that's the one they're looking for.
That's kind of that. But I'm thinking like,
There's 15 seconds on a 3-minute song.
Now I say that stuff live so he doesn't have to.
Actually, I gave that job to
He's like,
Jeremy.
hey, Jeremy, sell him the record while I take a quick drink and wipe off my face.
so what, I know you're in the early stages of working on the new record. Anything that we can expect from it? Any details that you want to divulge? Or I feel like you're able to take it at your own pace, which is nice.
It's going to be different. And so far, it rocks more than I even thought it would. But there's a lot of sort of broad swipes at different kinds of things, and Ryan seems to think it's kind of funny. And I'll wait and try to get it more tweaked as we're talking about until I bring it to the band, because there'll be a couple songs that it'll be like, what are you trying to do, Dave? And I'm like, you just got to believe in it. And it'll sound like
Stay
Soul
with me.
Asylum.
We are in the current studio with Soul Asylum. Wanted to thank you again for taking the time to stop by.
Thank you.
And looking forward to the show at First Avenue and to the new music on the way. And most of all, for you to continue doing what you do. It's great to have a really institution of Minnesota music after 4+ decades visit the current studio. So thank you for taking the time today.
Thank you.
The Current is public media made possible thanks to member support.